There you go. All right. How about now?
Yeah, the beach is great. The city of Gary has done a phenomenal job of keeping the beaches clean and, providing the services that people can actually come out there and have a wonderful time. And if they know somewhere to park, they don't have to pay for parking.
The very surprising part of it was that there was nobody there when I got there at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, and it was already 75 degrees. Literally nobody there.
I saw the pictures that Alexis posted of your beautiful grandchildren out there looking like they were having a wonderful time.
And I'm like, I think people just forget. It's like, I wrote that in. I'm doing a little thing where I just kind of talk about it. And you guys could just look it up, JED in the Midwest on my Substack. And that was suggested to me by a consultant, believe it or not. And I think they were right. Is that people in the Midwest just closed down after Labor Day.
And that's basically what it is, because that is like one of the busiest areas in the region during the summertime. And people who have their personal water vehicles, they're still going down Lake Street trying to put them out there, but they've already closed for the season. They don't have the lifeguards off season to handle the, swimming.
I guess I went.
Part of it too.
I went down to Dave's and parked. You know where he lives,
right?
And so there's no lifeguards there anyway. But I didn't notice. But I did notice at Marquette Park they had the hot dog stand open, and I'm like, there's nobody there. It's excellent.
Beach butts.
Yeah, I'm like, this is perfect. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking of going out there tomorrow and just going for a run and take, I like to try to take Wednesday as kind of my afternoon where I just kind of do a little mental house cleaning. I'm like, why not? There's nobody there. It's just
like one of the best places to be, I'm telling you. The vibe is just you just forget you're in Northwest Indiana.
Well, the Substack I wrote was that I brought two guys from the East Coast here when I was in college. And I went to school in Los Angeles for 2 years when Barry Obama was there. And the people on the East Coast all said they had the best beaches. And, of course, they think they have the best everything because they're from the East Coast. And and people from the East Coast look down on us here in Northwest Indiana and the whole center of the country. But we won't use that right now. And then another buddy that was hung out with us was from Westwood in Beverly Hills. So he's like, there's no better beach than Santa Monica in the whole world. So I bring the two East Coast guys here, and we go out and we do it up right in the region. They're like, God, it's really great to party here. What are we doing today? And so I go, we're going to the best beach in America. And they're like, you're such an idiot. You're over-exaggerating everything about what's going on here. Yes, it was a nice place to party, and we got hammered till 3 a.m. But we go and we park on Putnam, if you know where that is. I knew a guy on Putnam, and you walk to the end. Remember Dozier Allen lived over there at the end of Putnam? Mm-hmm. But we get over there, and we come up that rise over the dune, and they see Lake Michigan, and they're like, holy crap, I didn't know this existed. And then we went on there, and it was like kind of a low time for the Lake Michigan, so there was like 75 yards to the water. Then we went in the water all day, and it was fresh water, not salt water or brine like they have around anywhere around New York City, Jones Beach. I went to Jones Beach with my sister. She's like, oh, it's so nice. I go, the water is horrible. It's like brine. It's dirty and it's salty. But anyways, especially on the Sound. And then I've gone on the beach on the Sound. That's even worse.
We used to go to Smith Point all the time and go to the Hamptons, and the beaches were beautiful.
Hamptons maybe because it's out there, but you get closer to the city and the water's bad. And then finally, the two East Coast guys, when we finally left the beach, said, gosh, you know what? In the weirdest way, the water was fresh water. You have all the sun. It makes it a little, kind of gives it some character to see these steel mills. He's like, yeah, they're like, this is a really nice beach.
The Chicago skyline.
And the Chicago skyline. The whole thing comes together. And I think that where you live and where, people in Gary going right into Porter County there, between Bethlehem and U.S. Steel, which would be between Cliffs and U.S. Steel now, I think that's the best place to go to the beach in America. I really do. I think it's just so, not so much when there's really bad waves because it's so dangerous, but if it's, I think 90% of the warm days, it's okay to go in the water. 10% you got to stay out. That kind of sucks. You don't really get that with the ocean. But I don't know. I don't know why that isn't the focal point for us here in Indiana. We got the best beach in America.
I think a lot of people attach the negativity toward the city, which within that beach lies, and so they don't give it a chance because they just don't know. And so you can look at people who are intelligent enough to know and recognize the property values in that area and how they have skyrocketed. I mean, along Lake Michigan in Gary, Indiana, is some of the highest priced homes in the region. Other than maybe like Beverly Shores or Dunes Acres or one of those, private areas. But along that lakefront, those values are high, and people are coming in from Chicago and recognizing that and buying it up.
And rightfully so. I mean, Alexis, we've been to some pretty basically highfalutin lakes in the Midwest, and my cousin, who's highfalutin, she has a place on Lake Martin in Alabama. And if I have to rate lakes, and I've been to Big Bear Lake in California, I've been to a lot of different people's places and stuff. Lake Martin in Alabama is the best lake in America. And it's a reservoir, and it has a bunch of fingers, but they didn't allow any commercial development on it, right? So it is just totally pristine, and it's a little bit warmer the water's warmer than it is up here. Certainly Lake Maxinkuckee in central Indiana is probably what's that reservoir down right outside of Indy?
Well, Fox Lake also has, and then Geis
Reservoir,
yeah.
Yes. These are really nice, but nothing compares to Lake Martin in terms of lakes, but in terms of beaches, I've been to, and we went to the Milwaukee beaches. I've been to Lake Erie beaches. There's one beach where they have that, near where they have that massive amusement park in Ohio on the Lake Erie. And that's really a nice beach. Believe it or not, Lake Erie has really nice beaches.
Oh, no, my sister and brother-in-law had a home on the Canada side on the lake, and they recently sold that, but they love the Lake Michigan beaches just as much.
I don't know what it is about. And then going up to Lake Superior, I've gone up there a few times, gone up to Duluth, and it's nice, but the water is so cold. Even in August and September, who wants to go into water like that? I just went into the pool here at the Y, and they normally keep it at 80 degrees, and I noticed that I've gone to other pools.
Isn't that kind of warm?
But it's not 80 degrees. I know 80. And I'm like, today it was 80, and there's this other dude that's there, and he's like, I think they got it today. Because sometimes I get in there, I go, man, this is low 70s right here. This is kind of cold. But if it gets to 80, I'm like, perfect. They keep Omni at 83. So, you could go to Lake Michigan. It was kind of cold on Sunday, colder than it had been. I don't know if the wind shifted or whatever, maybe just a few degrees. But I went there a couple weeks ago to Dave's, and it was warm it was really warm because of the way that the wind was there. By the way,
with the birders out there, you see the guys and girls out there with their high, what do they call it, the lenses, out there catching the birds, the migratory birds. They get some beautiful pictures out there.
They were not out there, but I will tell you what Tom Dabberton's brother Dave got me to do a couple
I
weeks
caught
ago.
him out there once. Was it last year at the air show, riding his bike?
Yeah, he rides his bike everywhere,
Yeah.
but
Which, speaking of which, the air show was phenomenal this year. If you didn't get a chance to go either
I
Saturday or
went,
Sunday,
but
oh my gosh.
I was down by Dave's, and we, for some reason, they kind of centered it on Miller Beach and not Marquette. They had a lot of the main things were right there, unless maybe it's just
No,
felt
that's
like,
that's where we're supposed to be, between Lake Street and where the
where Oak
beach
starts.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I agree. It was amazing, and I think I'm still shaking from when you're just sitting there and you watch it at the end of it when they, what is it, the Thunderbirds, and they have all the Thunderbirds out, and you're looking at them over the lake, and it looks like they're going to hit each other, and you think, oh well, all the Thunderbirds are out there, and then this Thunderbird comes from behind you, really low and really loud, and I'm like, that scared the holy bejesus
It
out
was
of you.
amazing. We watched it from a dune right by the aquatorium the first day, and then on Sunday we went right from the house to Lake Street and watched it, and we got a whole different perspective because that's where the Thunderbirds were going around. And so, it was just great. So, I mean, there's so many wonderful things right there in the city of Gary that, people should try and take advantage of.
Anyways, Dave Dabberton got me to go to the Hammond Marina and swim from the marina over to the Hammond filtration
You're
plant.
kidding.
Yeah, and I was like,
That was kind of dangerous.
it was dangerous because I didn't have my goggles. I couldn't find.
Did you have a flotation
And I
suit?
didn't bring a flotation device.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm a superior athlete. I'll be fine. He's like, man, I don't know. And I'm
There's
like,
lots of superior athletes who do not
yeah,
survive.
and so I won't do that again because there were a couple times where I'm like, yeah, I really should have one because it's just, when you're on open water. I went to the TED Sports thing last week.
How was that?
It was amazing in Indianapolis, and I will talk a little bit about that. But I happened to talk with the woman who's like one of the most. They had like the biggest celebrities there, and you could just talk to them. So Triple H is just sitting there. Hey, Triple H, how's it going? And Pam Whitten, the head of IU, was there.
Yes,
and
I've been in her box at one of the football games.
Kate Johnson, the
Yeah.
head of marketing at Google. They just sort of hanging around. We went to this little golf thing, and everybody's just sitting there talking to you. It was like nobody really told you how great they were, which was kind of cool. But this woman I've seen her on TV before, that she was like a really famous open water swimmer. And she was down in Indy, and she goes, well, I'm going to go to Chicago. She had a Brazilian accent and stuff. I go, well, man, you need to go down and open water swim. And she's like, well, I didn't know that you really could on Lake Michigan. I go, you can in Hammond because it's inside the break wall. And you don't have all those waves, which are problematic when you're trying to swim and you'll swallow water that way and stuff. So it's pretty. Dabberton showed me how to do it, but I will never go there without a flotation device again.
Good idea.
I knew my cousin Phyllis would call. Hi, how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How about yourself? Hi, Verlie.
Good morning, Cousin Phyllis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I heard my name being thrown around, so I figured I'd call in. I've tried calling in before when my name was thrown around, but,
Well, I hope it
wanna-
wasn't. You didn't feel it was thrown around in a bad way.
not today.
Thank you.
Not today. And the only thing I'm going to say, and I wanted to say when I heard all this going on, like you said, innocent until proven guilty, you got on the wrong bus. The karma bus showed up.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
Sorry.
So appropriate.
It's just common knowledge. You can knock people down, act like you are one of the presidential people, and you're not. Look in the mirror. You're one of us. You're no different. I put my pants on the same way you do.
Hey, I made reference to growing up around strong women.
You got that right. You think somebody would do that to me? Not.
Well, it's not just you. I mean, could you
Quite a
see
few
someone
people.
trying to grow up Aunt Evelyn or
Oh, Lord.
Aunt Mary?
Who?
Or
No.
I mean, my sister, I mean, come
No.
on.
No.
Verlie. I mean, they're all in
Exactly.
kind of the same category. And outside of this case, but I think sometimes women can kind of, men can kind of pick up on that. Like I said, no one's going to, hopefully try to grope you because you just look like someone who would just go berserk on them. And sometimes predators can pick up on that. Am I right on that, Verlie, or no?
You are.
Yeah, predators.
You're right.
Definitely. Predators can pick up on people who can be victimized.
I could tell stories about how mean Cousin Phyllis is, but she would kill me, so I won't.
It really doesn't bother me. I woke up this morning the same way I did yesterday. And if I woke up to make new friends, I wouldn't be here. Because
So let
you
me
know
ask
what?
you
If
this.
you're my friend,
Go
you'd
ahead.
still be my friend.
Hey, Cousin Phyllis,
Yes.
I mean, this is just one of many issues. We need to talk about Charlie Kirk and all of that is going on with that horrible situation. His family's going to grow up without having their dad around. It's awful. But how do you feel in general about the mood in America?
It's horrible. You can't look at anyone. The minute you say what your opinion is, look for a gun because somebody's going to shoot you. That's today's world. It's you just can't. You can't look at anybody. You can't, especially these young ones. They're out of control. Out of control.
What do you mean, especially these young ones?
They're constantly wanting trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. They listen. They hear what they want to hear. And the biggest problem today is social media. Sorry, it is. It's what it's always been ever since that started.
You're right.
It is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Because people believe what somebody else said. I can go back on Facebook, and I've never been on it. My name has never been on it as a follower or a person on Facebook. Do I stalk Facebook? Yeah, because I want to know what people are saying about me. And you know what? I found out. And I got clips of every one of them. So if you think you're going to get by with something on Facebook, not about me, about anybody in general, that's why all these criminals and people that think they're going to shoot somebody and it's going to be over with, no. Social media will get you. Just like the boy in the park.
They got beat up.
Yep.
Yep.
By the way,
They were stupid enough to put that on social media.
hey, by the way, can I address that one? I mean, there's so much ugliness in the world, and I hate to
God.
have to go through all this, but we paint the world as it is, not as we wish it were. Scott Lindsay, as the paper has denoted, is a man who works at Jewel and is autistic, but I've known him for like 25 years. And it has, with heavy heart, that he got basically jumped in Hessville Park, or allegedly jumped in Hessville Park, and beaten to where he lost 6 teeth in his face. And he was riding his bike, and he's just a good dude, man. And he would hang out with the little kids, and he just had to. Awful story. Well, he went back to Hessville Park on Saturday.
Did you go with them?
I was babysitting, and I'm like, Scott, I can't go right now. I'm watching my grandkids, and I can't go. But he's like, Jed, I got to do this. And he went to the Mexican Independence Day parade and rode his bike there. And I'm going to have him back on.
Good for him.
A lot of people want to hear from him,
good
but
for him.
I got to
Good
tell
for
you,
him.
he's doing better.
That's the best
Phyllis.
thing to do. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and
Yep.
show that they did not alter your life.
Hmm. For a few days they did, but that was it.
Right, that you will go on.
Hmm.
No, I can't get I guess the attitude of kind of forgiveness that he has, and move on. I mean, I'm angry about Michelle Quinn with this little, and I'm holding on to it. I can't imagine how you would feel if that happened to you. The only thing I could compare it to is when those bullies from the other side of Michigan, Carroll Avenue, would beat my ass when I walked across the street from Frogsville to Roxana, and I had to have my cousins Phyllis and Patty save my ass. But
but Lefty took care of you.
What's that?
Lefty took care of you.
Yeah, you know what?
How's Lefty doing? I have not seen or spoken
Lefty's
to him in a
doing
long
great.
time.
Lefty's
Hey, hold on a
doing
second.
great.
I want to
Wait,
show you guys
what did
something.
you say, Cousin Phyllis?
He's doing great.
Oh,
I talked to him.
wonderful.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen. I want to show you guys
Man,
something.
I miss Lefty.
And now I'm not endorsing Lefty in any way, but he did
Why
go to
not?
Hammond Tech, right?
There you go. That's why
And
you gotta
hold on a
endorse him.
second. Adriana, what do you think of this? I mean,
When so when they got it in, it was so funny because I think Joe Cimino, he was producing, and he was like, guys, look what came in. And we saw it. We're like, oh, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, Jim just brought it in, left it there, didn't say anything, and just walked out. I was like, oh, okay, so we got a new present. So now we have a clock. We will try to make sure that it tells the correct time.
is
I
that
think
right?
it's telling it
You
right
got to find
time
a
right
place
now.
to put it, though. There's
Yeah, it's
no
on the right
walls in
time right
here.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll describe it.
Put it on the front of the desk.
It's amazing wood, and it says WJOB, and it's a clock, and
I don't
it's
think I have two cameras, so I'm gonna do
yeah.
this.
There you go, right there. And we have 3 of these. One is 1047. We got another one. I don't know what it is, and I'm like, Phyllis, this is what going to career tech school and high school
There
will
you
leave
go.
you with. This isn't his job. He just did it, and that kind of skill never really leaves you. But this
No, it
is
doesn't.
That's very nice.
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
And did you notice that I called you within, an hour that you received it? And you probably thought, how in the heck did she know?
I don't worry about anything about you other than
I know you
crossing
don't.
you and then getting the wrath of Cousin Phyllis. All right, Phyllis, thanks for putting things into perspective, okay?
Verlie, take care.
You too, Cousin
Jed,
Phyllis. Thanks so much for calling
Jed, you
in.
got a clock. Be on time.
We always love hearing from you. We would love to hear from
Thank
you more
you.
often.
Adriana,
Definitely.
thank you for coming in. I was waiting for you.
Yeah, I was listening to the show.
You're
when-
looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
Such a
I
beautiful
listen
young
to the
lady.
show when in the morning, so I know what you guys talk about. I find it makes it easier on me when I go back to cut the clips, edit them, and put them into the podcast. So then I know what you're talking about.
So
found that
I
a lot
want to
easier.
talk a little bit about roll here, and I don't maybe
But can I say this? Because you haven't done traffic and weather
Yeah, I
in a
did.
while.
didn't I just do it? Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah.
When I was driving in, my phone just connected to my.
yeah.
I didn't hear it,
Music.
but that's okay.
Well, anyways, I just want to make sure, and I want your opinion on this. She's kind of running the podcast network. How many podcasts you got now?
I think we have like 15.
15 podcasts. And I'm more and more kind of moving out into the marketing area. So she's kind of running WJOB Podcast Network, but really kind of running the radio station at times. How do you feel about a 21-year-old with that kind of responsibility?
Well, first of all, I would take the one word out of that statement, kinda. She is running the podcast and she is running the station. When she's here, she's done an excellent job. She was put in a situation last week where she had to host a show the morning after a horrific incident
That
had
was
taken.
that was an experience
She w-
because
yeah.
it was the fact that I scheduled 2 different interviews that day because I was like, okay, it's going to be just me
Because
talking.
you needed filling.
Let me fill in the time. I scheduled 2 interviews, and then 12 in the afternoon, 1, 2, 3, 4 things to talk about. And I was like, okay, I'm writing all this stuff up. I just felt like a news reporter. I didn't really put my opinion in except for when I talked about Chicago and the Natural Garden ice. That was the only time that I was able to kind of put my opinion in because I was already talking about that somewhere else. So I was like, I have this already prepared. These other 3 things, I just felt like a news reporter. I'm like, here's what happened. Here's one thing that I think, okay, we have to move on to the next one because I had 2 interviews ready to go and they were waiting out there. I was like, okay, I gotta wrap this up.
No, I think in fact, the way you handled that show was a real good audition tape for you.
There we go. Yeah.
Young
though
lady who
stuff
was
went
on
wrong.
yesterday, I don't know if she was the producer yesterday or not. Really, the young people that you have coming in here, they're really good because they are able to respond off the cuff. So a question can be posed to them, and they're able to step in with an opinion that is well thought out and well delivered. And I don't know, what is the young lady that was here yesterday? Was it Vivian?
Lynette.
Lynette.
TH on the end.
Okay.
Lynette. It's really
Yeah.
Lynette. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Really, I noticed that with Adrianna right from the start. We put her, Michelle and I were co-hosts, and we put her on the spot with a question. Always loved hearing her perspective. And so that's a really good thing. You did an excellent job, the morning after with Charlie Kirk and sharing the news, responding to the callers, handling your interviews. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
All right, so let's put you on the spot right now. 55% of women under the age of 50 worry about being sexually assaulted in public places. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
It is a real fear that when women go out into public, that's what goes through their mind. We're told from a very young age, especially with what we wear, but that's not the case. I've been told my entire life when going out, put some pants on instead of like shorts. But the boys get to wear shorts. Why don't I get to wear shorts? Put some pants on. Put on a different shirt. You can't wear a dress. Why not? And I had to always question, why not? Why not? If the boys can do it, why can't I? And it's just that mothers have that fear that their daughters are going to go out into the world and something bad's going to happen to them. So they protect them in any way that they can. And that was the only way that they knew how, because growing up, that's what they were told. So they continue it on into the next generation. But that's not the case. You ever see the museum of, I don't know the official term, but what I look at it as is what I was wearing when it happened. And it's different outfits that are posted up and people's stories of when they were sexually assaulted. And you look at these outfits, because that's the first thing that is blamed on the women. What were you wearing? Doesn't matter what I was wearing. It mattered that it happened. And you see these outfits, and it's wedding dresses. It's little girls' clothing that covers them from head to toe. It's people of different ethnicities and race that wear clothes that are to their heritage that are very covered up, but it doesn't matter what they were wearing. So when you hear that statistic, and it's bad to say that that's a normal thing. Now, that doesn't stop me from going out to the city, going out to Chicago, going outside of my house. That doesn't stop me, because if I constantly live in fear, I'm just staying in and I'm never doing anything in my life. So, yes, it is a thing that happens and that crosses my mind. But instead of waiting in fear and waiting to see the what if, I plan to continue living my life and speaking out against it, because that's the only thing. Yes, people are going to say that, oh my goodness, how dare you? You're going to blame it on Trump. You're going to blame it on whoever's in politics. Yes, because they're making it a normal. They're making it a societal norm. So I will continue to speak out against it, because that just makes you uncomfortable, because you don't have to think that is something that will happen to you.
My girl.
We'll be right back. I'm what they call a vestige. I'm no longer needed here. I'll be right back on the Voice and Face of the Region.